Bada bing, bada boom. Realest dudes in the room. Got to get it hopping. I spent the entire week with these guys, so I'm a little tired of seeing them. But hey, they're my homies. Let's bring them on right now. The big man, Isaac. What's happening, my friend?
What's up, dude?
Just living the dream, one nightmare at a time. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then we've got our man, JJ. What is happening, JJ? Welcome back.
How about it?
Yes, sir. JJ, I love the shirt, man. You've been switching it up on us. You've been doing something different every week. I'm loving it, man. I'm feeling the energy. Absolutely, man. Look, we're excited to bring another episode to you, man. We are, as always, we are sponsored by, we are powered by, we are everything by Vector Security. But we're gonna bring some good energy today, man. I know me and the guys, man, we've been on the road, so the energy is a little bit out of us, but we're gonna pick it up for you guys, and we're gonna bring some good energy to this episode. Because we got some special we got something special for you guys. Let's just say that. I'll leave it for a little bit later. But what's up, fellas, man? What's going on? How's everybody recovering from the week? I know you guys traveled back yesterday. How you feeling?
I slept like a baby last night. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah, I went to dinner with my family, my mom and dad, and we were at dinner, and my mom said I was doing one of these. I kept on, my head was knocking. I came back to the house. I couldn't get on that couch quick enough. Could not get on that couch quick enough.
Wherever you sat at, that's where you slept at, huh?
I woke up this morning still in the same spot with the same clothes on.
Yep. And it was the best sleep ever, man. I know that feeling. What about you, JJ?
It was great when I got home. Got home a little bit before the family did. They were out at the pool. Open up the garage door. Here comes that little girl. Dada! Just running.
Yep.
So that made it all worth it right there.
That's the best feeling, isn't it? When you come home and the family runs up to you. The dog is the first one to meet me every time. He's right at the door. Yeah. He's right at the door, and then I get to the family, man. That's an awesome feeling, man. Chad, I'm loving the shirt too, man. You got on rocking the polo, man. I just got my son a similar shirt to that. So nice. Very nice.
I like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What's man, we were this week, for anybody who doesn't know, which is probably everybody, we were traveling this weekend. This week we spent the whole week in Nashville, Tennessee. We were in a bat cave, coming up with ways to end world hunger and solve all the world's problems. So we can't reveal everything, and we won't reveal everything. But just for us, man, what were some of your biggest takeaways from the week, man? Was it the food? Was it just the fun we had? Was it just the meetings? What? Give me some takeaways. Obviously, we want to keep all the details detailed out. But give me something, man, that you took away from this week, Chad.
So, from a business standpoint, the biggest takeaway I have is how we are bringing everything together. Right, yeah. One mind, one vision, the whole thing. But then this was the first time I got to meet these guys in person. Yeah. And that was my biggest takeaway. I mean, you guys are real dudes, man. It's not a person I see on the phone or hear on the phone or just see on Teams meetings. This brought it together, and it made us a team, I believe. Like, yeah.
And you
especially when I seen those emails come out yesterday from Isaac saying, I'm going here.
But Chad, it's funny you say that, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but I've been 15 years with these people up in Nashville. But when I got there, it was because we've done so much of this, going and saying, hey, and having meetings up there, that it was so awesome seeing everybody. I mean, going back and seeing everybody that I hadn't seen in probably 2 years, and a lot of that's COVID and things. But I mean, it was amazing seeing the team up there I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I got a couple takeaways. I'm gonna double down on what Chad said, man. I think one of the biggest, JJ, you and I have obviously spent multiple trips together. But this is the first time we got to be with Chad, and let me say this. Chad is a dude. You know what I mean? And I like dudes. He's a dude, man. He's comfortable in his own skin. He's just a guy, and like I say, I like guys, man. And so that was one of my biggest takeaways is again the camaraderie, being able to, break bread with you guys and build with you guys. And it was awesome, man, just to hang out for a little bit. We do so much on Teams and video and phone, but to get together, man, and break bread together was awesome. So that was one of the things. And then I'll also agree, man, just being able to feel like you're in the Batcave, man, and feel like you're resolving all the issues in the world and being a part of that process is awesome, man. And just being able to get together and put all of our minds together and just come up with all of these great ideas and great things that we can do to continue to push the game forward and push the industry forward. And so for me, that's some of the things that I look at and I'm like, yeah, that was a good time and we had some fun with that for sure. Well, we are at it, man. We are here. It's Friday. End of the week, long travel week. What's the plans, man? What you guys got going on this weekend?
JJ and Isaac inspired me, so I'm doing a cookout tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hit up the butcher shop. I knocked the dust off the smokers. It's time to fire up the grills and kick back some beers and have some barbecue.
Yes, sir.
So this weekend I will be getting everything prepared for next week. I will leave Sunday and come back Saturday. I will get to spend a week in the woods. So with my son and this scout troop. So it's going to be fun. We get to go out there and all kind of stuff's going to happen out there. They get all kind of merit badges and learn how to do this, learn how to do that. It's going to be, we've done it quite a few times. He's been in scout since first grade. He's going into 8th. So a lot of knowledge and a lot of fun's about to happen this next week.
Awesome.
How about you?
Awesome. Me?
What you got going? Yeah.
Oh man, nothing cool like that. No barbecues, no getting ready for the scouts trip, nothing like that, man. It'll just be a R&R, man. That's it. I got some yard work to do. My wife went and bought a couple bags of mulch for me to put down, so I'll put those down. I gotta put a little what do you call it? The weed skirts. Planting some new shrubs, so I gotta put some skirts around those and then put some more mulch down. So nothing super boring stuff, right? Like nothing exciting. I gotta wash my dog again. Nothing exciting. But just chilling, man. Just being with the family. Like man, we are on the road so much, man. And I'm on a stretch right now, like 6-7 weeks in a row, and I'm right in the middle of it. So every moment, every minute, I get to just kick it and chill with the family,
Relax.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's so worth it. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend, man. Just chilling with the family, just spending time together. Maybe go out to dinner or something like that. But nothing too crazy, man. Nothing too crazy. What else? What else we got going on, man? What about next week? What you guys doing next week? I know you got your thing going on. Where you at next week, Chad?
I am heading to DC, Baltimore area. Got some new people coming on board with the company and supporting my shout out to Candy, my sales manager down there.
Shout out to Candy.
Got to give her some props and spend some time. We're doing some things and it's awesome, like because we're seeing changes, philosophy changes, ways that we need to do stuff. So that next week is a hugely important week for us down there.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be getting down there next month, right?
Yeah.
To do the training in person, which is gonna be awesome. That's gonna be our first time. Everybody doing one in person. We do a virtual sales course every month. But again, virtual being the operative word there. So we're gonna do a in-person one, which is gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah. So it's gonna be hybrid, right? Like we're gonna have some online.
Yeah. We'll have some online, but we'll have most of them in person, which will be great. So I'm really excited about that, and I think that's gonna continue to drive the mission forward, man. But, Listen, I told you guys at the beginning of the episode, we got something special for you. We got someone special for you, should I say. This man is a man of mystique, right? He lives in the shadows. But he's a big baller and a shot caller, man, and I'm excited to have him here. He's a legend in the game. He is a mentor of mine. Obviously, we talk to this guy multiple times a week. So, but I thought it was important to have him on here so that we could let the people just see who he is, outside of everything else. So, without any further ado, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Graham McDowell. What's up, Graham?
I don't even know where to.
Whoa, sorry.
I don't even know where to start.
It's a double applause.
Start without that kind of intro.
Hey, man, we got to bring you on right.
Man, I kind of want to rerun this thing again and just hear another intro.
Just start it over, right? Just do that again.
Man, how are you guys doing?
Going, Graham? How's everything going, man? You were with us all week, so
yeah. I've had the privilege, man, of brainstorming and knocking out a lot of good stuff of how do we benefit the company and how do we help support and drive some revenue. So it's been really good meetings. It's been a lot of fun. I would tell you, man, you guys wore me out. I mean, all the brainstorming and going back and forth. It was really good stuff. I'm excited about what's to come.
Yeah, man, we got some good stuff down the pipe that I think is gonna re-energize the organization and just bring a lot of good stuff. So, but man, we brought you on here because we know you, right? We know you. We talk to you, like I said, multiple times a week, almost on a daily basis. So, but I think it's so important to highlight you to the organization, so that everybody else can get to know you and get to know you a little bit outside of just the day-to-day operations, which we'll get to here in a second. But I want to start, man, with just asking you, give us a quick history of Graham, man. Where did you come from? How'd you get to this point? Where'd you start? What was life like before Vector? And kind of how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, no, it's look, it's been a journey, right? I started out really, I mean, I've been in the industry for, I guess, close to 16, 17 years now. And I started out in retail before that. Like I was in toy store retail too, right? So you work, you go out there, you work 1 million hours. And, I can remember my first gig. I had it and I was an hourly employee, and man, I was working like crazy, working all kinds of overtime, doing my thing, making big paychecks that I thought then. And I remember I had a store manager come to me and says, "Hey, you're doing a great job, right? I want to do something for you." I said, "What's that?" He says, "I want to make you an assistant manager and make you salary." Right? Salary. I was like, "Whoa, watch out now." Right? I was like, "Watch out. Here we go." And they put me salary. I still worked 100 hours. I did the math real quick and I was like, wait a minute, I think you got me here. Right. Yeah. So I did that for a little bit. I can remember my dad was always in sales and family members in sales. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. And I had no clue really what I wanted to do or how I was gonna do it. And so I went into security world and sales, and I did residential sales for the original kind of Brinks Home Security, and I did that for a little while, and man, cut my teeth on the residential door to door, and it was man, it was a life lesson, right? What did they say? It's like 6 months of outside sales is equivalent to a 4-year degree, right? I mean, you're going at it. And I did that for probably, I don't know, a year. And I was very fortunate and did well. And I remember I got the tap on the shoulder and they said, you want to run a big market in sales? And I said, absolutely. And no clue what I was doing.
Yep.
They moved me down to Hotlanta, and I was in Atlanta, and I remember I thought I was going to go in there and run with like the iron fist. I'm going to tell people how to do it, and that's the way they're going to do it, and that's it. And man, I think I probably had 90% turnover after my first month, and I figured out real quick, man, I got to do something different here. And I was fortunate. I had a mentor that put me under his wing and really showed me that people don't get motivated off of an iron fist or telling people to do it or you're going to lose your job or whatever it is. And so I really kind of revamped the leadership style, and I figured out really fast that it's better to hire people smarter and faster than you.
Yep.
And better than you, and then give them the tools to be successful. And I think you guys all know, because I talk to you pretty regularly, that's a hard task to find people better and smarter than me. But it's I was able to do it, man. And we were very fortunate. The team turned it around. We were branch of the year, and then the VP tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, do you want to be a national trainer for us?" And again, I had no clue what I was doing. I took it on title alone. Not gonna lie to you. I was like, absolutely, right. And the one thing I did when I did accept it, the thing I did forget was I was scared to death to talk in front of people. I mean, it was bad news. And I remember my first day, they had this big university, and it was all the leadership team and some other people, and I think there's probably close to 400 people. And they said, "Graham, just get up there, introduce yourself." And that's when it clicked of, I hate talking in front of people.
Right in that moment.
Oh man, I think I almost threw up 3 times before I got on stage. Oh, I was so scared. And but then once I got up there, it clicked. And I remember it went from like, "Hey, you got 5 minutes to introduce yourself," to they're sitting there telling me, "Hey, wrap it up. Let's go. Let's go."
Yeah.
I think I was 45 minutes in giving a sermon on sales, and they couldn't get me off the stage. So it was yeah. So I did that. I took over some markets, and then moved on from there after Brinks was acquired, and helped start up another company where we opened up 60 markets in 90 days. I mean, it was go, man. It was so we did that. It was a really nice run. And then I was recruited after the fact by Apple. And so I worked for Apple for a while, and that one was I really wanted to be able to see, working with Apple, of what is it that makes the people drink the Kool-Aid, right?
Mhm.
That,
Yeah.
you see, and they're look, we could debate this probably for a 2-hour or they're a 2-hour podcast on Samsung or Apple, or right, which
Right.
one's better. And I'm not going down that road, even though Apple's a better product. But I won't go any farther.
I'm
Right?
Samsung all day, baby. All day long.
I know. But I was able to really kind of dive into the culture and see what made it so special, right? Why did so many employees have those Apple tattoos on their body, right? You think about it, any other logo, right? How many employees would have other logos tattooed on them? And
Right.
and it really, I also wanted to learn what is it really to dive into selling technology and looking at the technology police. And I found out 2 things. I think one was, if you're passionate about the product and you're passionate about the technology, the sales kind of fall into play.
Yeah.
I think my biggest takeaway with Apple, though, was the engagement from our employees and what development really looks like for our employees. And development can be anything from wanting to be really good in your role to moving up into leadership positions, or setting up some of team members to be successful outside of Apple or outside of an industry, and
Yep.
really taking it personally of what does it look like to help with competencies and, to drive um, their goals and, use their strengths and their opportunities and help develop those. And so it taught me a ton. It really did. And, but I will tell you through all that, it was kind of boring too, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you go in, I had multiple stores and locations, and man, you just open the doors, the busloads of people come running in,
Yep.
and you walk out and you got a mountain of cash, and but you're not driving sales really, right? It's
Yeah.
not you're dependent on the people coming into you, not the going to get them. And now I talk about revenue. Man, we had stores maybe $100 million in 100 days, and it wasn't even holidays, right? I mean, wrap your mind
Jeez.
around that. Yes, that is a lot of cash for one location.
That is
So
crazy.
yes,
Where were you at? Where
so
were your
it
locations
was
primarily?
yeah, so it was North Carolina, and then parts of Virginia as well that I
Okay.
had. And so yeah, it was and it was something else. The phone launches that you would see, right? You'd always see them on the news, and people would be camping out seven
Lined
days,
up.
7 days before, and it's mind blowing to me. Like, I'm a technology guy, but I'm still not waiting 7 days for a
Not a
phone.
chance. I remember that from my Verizon days, man. They be lined up outside the store, like you said, days in advance, like with chairs and umbrellas and like just
Yeah,
waiting. It blows
rain.
my mind every time.
Yeah, rain, snow. It didn't matter. I mean,
Yep,
people are hardcore about getting a phone that's going to last a year.
absolutely.
So,
And then they're gonna release another one the next year. That's the exact same phone, and
six
they're
weeks
gonna do
later,
the
they're
same
going to sell
thing.
it on. Yeah, they're going to sell it online. So that's like, what are you doing?
Yep,
So, but it's the passion behind it, right? It's to say, hey, I'm first.
that's right.
But yeah, so I got bored with it, and I wanted to get back into the industry. And so I went back into you know back into the industry through ADS, and so was with ADS. Started out as a sales trainer, so doing what you guys are doing, the grind and on the road warriors, and getting out there and riding with team members and closing sales for team members and doing hiring events, doing all those things. And
Yep.
then I was able to take over the Sanford market, and again, unbelievable team members over in Sanford, and surrounded myself with people better and smarter than me. And we were able to have a branch of the year that year, and
Nice.
so did that, and was very fortunate. I was promoted to director of sales for ADS, and then moved into the role now as director of sales for residential high volume, and then also with the MDU space as well.
Yeah, and JJ, I'm gonna come to you here in a second. I just want to say that's one of the things that is when I think about you that's most impressive because I came in like right around the same time as you. I think you were what 2018, 2019. I came in
Yep.
like 2019. And you were on like a rocket ship like rise throughout the organization. Like it went boom, 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 boom. Graham's a trainer, Graham's a GM, Graham's a director of sales, like boom, 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 boom. So how did you handle that, and how did that happen? Like, because that doesn't happen for everybody, which speaks to your abilities and just who you are and the cachet that you bring. But I was just always interested in like that rocket ship ride that you went on, man, and it was extremely impressive.
I think I fooled everybody.
That's probably what it
No,
was.
again, I always try to pull the ego out of everything I do. And it's never about me. It's never about where it's going to take me. It's you develop the people around you.
Mhm.
And again, you surround yourself with people better and smarter. And I think so many times in so many positions you can get locked into okay, what's the number one focus for me, and how do I want to get there? Instead of looking at it and realizing we have so many talented people within this organization. I mean, it's mind blowing to me every time I travel to a branch and I get to have one-on-ones, or I get to have, the sales meetings, or meet with the leadership team. And, it blows my mind of how much talent we have. And, I think for me, what I've been fortunate enough to do is to kind of harness that talent and then
Yep.
build the creativity around it of what's people are passionate about. And then, kind of put the guardrails up to steer that drive. And I think that's honestly, it's really what's worked. That's worked for, I guess, for my advancement, was knowing who, who I work with and what their strengths are, and what's, work through opportunities and go that route. So,
I'm gonna
I
I'm
wish,
gonna jump
look,
in. I want to
yeah, go
jump
ahead.
in on that, Graham. You do an awesome job on recognizing people's strengths and talents, because right here, the three of us, I'm gonna tell you, Isaac, and Isaac is by the book. I mean, not by the book, but he is straight. He's very, very, very organized. And then I'm at the bottom of this.
My wife won't say that. I can tell you that.
No, I will give you that. JJ, he keeps all of us on task, right? He brings us back in. He keeps us focused on that. And then, like, my strength is I'm I I am not organized by any means, but I'm
You're a
good.
dot connector. We'll tell you what your strengths are, buddy. You're
Yeah,
a dot connector. You connect the
yeah.
dots, right? You can bridge two gaps. That's what you're great at,
And
in
so
my
when we
100.
come together, yeah, but like as a unit, like the three of us are really, really strong at bringing it together and putting it like you task us. You'll give us one task. It's just quick. Hey, look at this. Next thing I know, we've got flow charts, pivot tables. More, I mean, we make it happen. But that's you saw the strength in all of us, and just being with you this week, hearing you state stuff, and the biggest thing to get results is recognition from our people. And you've said it 3 times during our questioning, is just like, how do you get people out there? And you see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I do. Look, I mean, look, we all have different strengths. We have opportunities, right? I'm as scatterbrained as the right as the next. I'm all over the place, right? It's like that, man. Look at that shiny thing. Oh, look, and I'm popping around, and
Yeah.
a lot of times when we're in our meetings, I come up with big ideas or strategies, and you guys do an amazing job with taking that and saying, all right, hey, here's the deal. It's you either say, oh, that's a good idea, or you guys aren't afraid either to be like, man, I don't know, Graham. That might be a stretch, right? But that's what I want, right? And I think that's where you really start to build the successful teams and the groups and the organizations, is really taking it strengths and letting people be creative, right? And letting people take ownership of what they're doing. And
Yep.
I think that's where we're starting to see the success too for the organization, right? Is, again, we have I am not the greatest salesperson, never been, right? I've got people, there's people in the organization run circles around me, absolutely run circles around me in sales, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, right? That's where the ego doesn't come into play. But it is taking those skill sets and taking our strategies and kind of folding them around those skill sets, and that's where we win, right? And so,
Sure.
yeah. So I appreciate that, though, guys.
Awesome. What you got, JJ?
So, Graham, I know you've been in the security industry for a long time, and you've been in the game forever. And from when you got in the industry, from what you've heard of where the security industry is at in 5 years, from right now, how much of a difference do you see where we're at from when you started, and how much do you see we're going to grow over the next 5 years as an industry?
Oh man, it's been huge. You think about it, right? I mean, we went from the coolest thing of a security system was a wireless contact, right? And we were like, oh my gosh, you can't do wireless. You can't do wireless, right? It was like mind blowing. And then, then we went and said, well, we don't need a landline, right? And then you, excuse me. And then, you're like, wait a minute, we're doing cell?
Yes.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. It was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, you can't do cell on somebody's security, and man, it was so, our industry was so boring for so long, right? It was just, I mean, what we did is, we provided peace of mind, and we still do, right? But we were really more like the insurance industry, right? You really didn't want us unless you needed us, right? And so now, as technology is expanding, right, and your automation and your video and what all that can do with built-in AI, right, is created this new, almost like, appeal for our industry again. And I think for so long, the reason why this industry went to the hey, it's me, it's free mentality was because our consumers were conditioned of how boring it was, but also conditioned to a price point, right? And so they, the consumers became conditioned. It was a race to free because there was nothing standing out with the technology. Well, now that we have the technology piece in play with automation and blinds and video and everything, I think there's twofold. I think one is created an excitement back into our industry, but I also think the other part is our consumers really truly, they're not conditioned to a price point anymore, right? It's because there's so many different things of what a customer needs and what a customer wants that we fit those needs in different ways.
And people pay for convenience, and that's what automation provides. Yeah,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I think I think we get more and more into AI. I think AI is gonna, just like it's driving everything else.
Yeah,
it's gonna drive our industry. I think the way we look at security moving into the future is gonna look different too. I think we're gonna be a lot more proactive with security than we are gonna be reactive with security, right? I mean, I think where video's going, and the AI behind video and how we can detect who's coming, what's their, the color palettes on their shirt, right? Facial recognition, being able to alert before the door's kicked in is, so much stronger than being reactive when the door's kicked in.
that's right.
And so, I think AI and software is going to play a lot more of a role into the security industry than ever before.
Absolutely. Chad, what you got for this man? This man is rolling. I mean,
Yes.
he is rolling right now. Go ahead, give him something.
So, what is your most memorable moment from your career, your sales career so far? The biggest win moment.
Oh, that's a tough one. I think twofold. I think the one piece I brought up in Atlanta when I had 90% of my staff quit on me. Right? They didn't quit on me because of a comp plan. They didn't quit on me because of a new policy. They didn't quit on me because I made them wear a tie. They quit on me because of me. I think everybody loves to talk about when they, one branch of the year, they set records or those things. I think that's the piece that's probably the most memorable, and it was the toughest. But I remember at the same time, that's what stands out constantly with me of, look, we can get so tied up into the numbers and hitting the numbers, and there can be an unhealthy balance of that, and it can drive people to really get aggressive and not think of the human aspect, but just the Excel budget number. And that's what I did. I thought I was going to be able to drive somebody by swinging a bat and we just hit our numbers and be good. And I realized real quick that that's not the way That's not the way people work. And so, I think that's one. I think the other piece is going on the inner circle trip.
Mhm.
Was another memorable moment, and being able to surround yourself with. Or the way I always look at it, I'm a sports guy, and you think about like you go into. Imagine sitting at like a lunch with like a bunch of Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
right? And being able to sit there and just like pick their brain and be like, man, what was your mindset like? What is your, what do you do on a daily basis? And to hear it from people within our organization that are top tier made it happen, right? And what it took to make it happen, and then how they do it to sustain it. Because I think that's two different things, and that's two really hard skill sets to do, and they're doing both of them, right? They built their brand, they built themselves, and now maintaining it is a whole nother level. And for them to do it and make it look so easy, because like athletes, right? You follow an athlete and you're like, man, they make it look so easy, and the whole thing with the people here, you hear people say all the time with like in the Olympics, that they should always have just like an average person do the sport with the Olympians, right? Just so you can see like, you know, me running against like, Bolt, like I would,
Yeah.
I would
It's
want to
so
experience that.
it's so funny you say that because that actually happened in real life. There was a I can't remember what country it was, but it was a country in Africa, and the I guess the president or whoever runs the country or whatever, they have different titles. They appointed like his niece or something as the person who was going to represent the country in that national race or whatever it was. And she gets out there. And it's like, it's unbelievable. We got to find that video. We'll try and find that video and post it. But she comes out the blocks and like, of course, she's running up against Olympic sprinters. So like they're gone. She's not even in the frame anymore. And like 5 minutes later, you see her cross in this line after everybody's crossed. It was crazy. And I think it was just 100. They were just running 100 or the 200, and I mean, ridiculous. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
I would have to fake like I pulled a hammy or something like right off the block or something like that.
Yeah.
They do something similar at the Braves games. They let old boy start off running, give him like 100, 200 foot head start, and then old boy takes off and just walks them down.
Yeah,
that's
just
crazy.
Man,
you see the people, they start celebrating way too fast, and they're like, all of a sudden, they got to get on it, and they always fall on their face or whatever it is. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
What you got, JJ?
Oh, so I know you're like me. So you go in my bathroom, you look at the mirror. I got my dry erase, I got my goals, I got everything that I want to do and what I try to strive to do. If you had a year goal and a 5-year goal, what do you think them are right now for yourself?
For myself personally,
or yourself or the company?
Yeah, I think for myself, again, I'm going to be honest. I really don't. I don't know. I'm really still trying to understand the role I'm in now. Right. I mean, it's going from within the moving from ADS and then into Vector South and Vector North. And then learning the processes, and we still have 2 different processes as we speak, right? And so it's or the softwares as we speak. And so still trying to, work through that and, still continuing to build a lot of relationships. I think one of the most important things that, I don't want to sit there and make things mandatory if I don't know who's who. And, and getting out into the markets and, building those relationships. So I think for me, for my goals going into, next year is continue to build the relationships that we have, and continue to pick the brains of everybody around us to, again, it's, people that are better and smarter, right? And starting to take what some of these branches that are absolutely killing it and figuring out what they're doing, right? And implement that and spread it, right? And spread it out throughout the whole organization. So, that's I think my goals going into the next year, 5 years is, I think one of you guys said it earlier too, was, man, really getting where our systems and our processes and the things that we have are across the entire organization. So one of my main goals is we have a lot of great talent in this organization, and it's to create more and more bench strength as we go through. And so if we have a person that has shown great leadership competencies and really wants to move up within the organization, right? The learning curve shouldn't be the process from branch to branch. The learning curve should really be how to become a leader, right? How to develop your skills in a leadership style. And part of that is if someone wants to move from Melbourne to Philadelphia, right? That transition should be easy as far as the process goes, because they're already doing it. Now it's just sitting on the other side of the table, and understanding the leadership style. And so I think that's probably my biggest thing is to align help align the branches while still keeping that creativity, right? That's the balancing act that we fight, right? Is everybody wants creativity, and they should in the branches, because they're talented.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, we know you got a busy day, and we, again, thank you for joining us, man. I got one more for you, an easy one for you though. Just who is Graham outside of work, like outside of the organization? Once the computers close, once the phones put up, the emails are done buzzing. Like, who is Graham? What does Graham do? I know I have a good idea, but I think it's important for the people to know you just as a regular guy and just a human, man. So what's life like outside of Vector for you?
Man, I am a family guy through and through, man. I've my wife Rebecca, and then I've got 3 awesome kids most of the time. They I got a 21-year-old son, 16-year-old daughter, and 11-year-old son. And my boys are they've been baseball, right? We live, breathe baseball. And so my oldest played college ball. My youngest is on the other side of the group of he's still in the little league and doing the travel ball baseball stuff. And my daughter has been doing classical ballet for a long time. So, man, if you ever want to see me look like a fool, well, my daughter wants to teach me some ballet, moves and all that stuff, man, I will. She's a hard teacher too, man. She's a hard coach. She'll get on me, So
we may have to get that record. We may have to get that recorded and just put like a little excerpt of it on the pod.
Man, I don't know if y'all want to see that.
No, I want to see it. I want to see it.
We just need a picture with your hands above your head and your foot on your other knee, and we're good.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable. It's so funny because people ask, man, what do you think's harder, like baseball or ballet or dance? And I say, hands down, ballet and dance is 10 times harder than any sport. And I always say, baseball, you get a ground ball, you can kick it to first base and it's still considered an out, right? In dance, if your feet's a different way, your fingers pointing a different way, or whatever it is, it's like, no, that's wrong. So, but no, man, I mean, if majority of the time, if I'm not on the road or, during, doing the work thing, then I'm a family guy through and through. I love spending time. We got a really close family. Like the outdoors. I like to, the hike and, and embarrass my kids too, man. I will find a way. It's like one of my probably biggest accomplishments, man, as a parent that I look forward to is I have no problem. We'll be in the middle of a mall and a song will come on and man, I will break down a dance move in a heartbeat. It is great. It's like probably one of one of the biggest things of being a parent is looking at their face of pure disappointment. And even Rebecca, my wife, right, of being like, "What are you doing?" And they just keep on walking. Like they're just, they've gotten used to it so much. They're like, "Dad, don't do it. Like, don't do it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready.
It's coming. It's coming."
Yeah. They start speed walking away from me. But that's what I look forward to.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Well, listen, man. We thank you so much. You've given us a lot of your time, and we know you got a busy day and busy man. So we appreciate you, man. We thank you for joining us. I think we were able to give everybody a glimpse of who you are, like outside of the emails, outside of the in-person visits, and just who Graham is outside of everything else. So, man, thank you so much. Obviously, we'll be talking soon, probably today, but thank you, man, and we appreciate you so much for joining us. And man, Graham McDowell, everybody.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. And look, I appreciate you guys doing this, because I think this is super cool. And this is kind of that new stuff that, right, we look at, and ability to be able to, listen in and just get, man, conversations of cooking and sports and life and all those things, man. You guys are doing the real deal, man. I really appreciate you guys and this. So
thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you,
Graham.
man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
All right, guys. Take care.
I'm gonna put his there.
There you go.
That
one time for Graham McDowell, man. Graham's an awesome guy, man. I was extremely. He gave us he gave us an episode, so that was awesome. I was talking to him beforehand, and he was like, "Man, I don't know if I can talk about myself for like 20 minutes." And dude went for like an hour.
Yes, he tried to pull an Isaac. We had to cut him, but he tried to pull an Isaac.
So hey, just wanted, before we jump off here, I don't know if anybody noticed, but at the bottom of our screen, we do have our top performers and winners for our contest that was ran for our organization. So shout out to them right below. We finally got a ticker, so we're gonna
let's
keep on
call
going.
them out, man. We got Alan Worley, who placed number 1, coming straight out of Jackson, Tennessee. My guy, I just talked to Alan not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Number 2, our second place winner is Mr. Jimmy Douglas from the great state of South Carolina, right out there in Columbia. And third place, we had Mr. Greg Stormer, who came in and rocked. Listen, all of these guys rocked it. Alan put up 26 new units. Jimmy put up 25 new units. Greg put up 24 new units right there in Mansfield. So, man, we are so happy for you guys. And we had a ton of different qualifiers. Let's clap it up for them one time. Let's give them a round of applause, because these guys deserve it, man. The whole team. Great job, man. Great job, everybody. Well, listen, guys. I mean, we've been running, we've been doing it. And I think that's all we got for you guys today, man.
You gotta say your saying, man.
Well, of course, we gotta close it out. The H&C is not just for hustle and close. It is for humility and character. Show it, know it, and live it. With that being said, see you next week.